Get inspired by seeing fellow heroes apply AHK in everyday wins. The shared stories alone make membership a no-brainer. Our club's Telegram crew is all about collaboration and friendships. See how others tackle AHK challenges and feel the group energy. Hey, Irfan, I didn't tell you this, but why don't you go ahead and share your screen and show the current version of our new AutoHotkey quote unquote editor.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It still has a long ways to go, but it's a really good start, and I think we'll not too far from now we'll release it for probably for hero members for testing.
I'm just noticing, actually, when I looked at it, I saw the color, but I didn't notice that it is on the actual caption of the window. That's interesting. How did you do that?
Yeah, that's a DLL call I just found out. So I just asked the AI how to do that, and it told me how to do that.
Right, that's awesome. Yeah, because I've seen, and I can see in here, it looks very good, actually.
Okay.
Sorry, as Irfan, Isaias, to your point, we almost, as a branding thing, should do that in all of our tools, right? Anything we have a GUI, use.
And we have done this in certain GUIs that the background is yellow, but then the caption is a different color. Yep. This time I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Cool.
Okay, so this is our launch settings, and we can choose the binaries. And we can choose also default, and our tool also, like if I want to wrap or unwrap, it is saved into that file. And the other stuff is I can copy stuff like Alt Shift down. It's creating copies. And then I can do Control D. I have multiple. So I can change it. So AHK GUI.
So you have multiple cursors and everything. Yeah. You know, Scintilla is so great. To respond to Nick, yes. So we do have, so I use AutoHotkey Toolkit very often to create very quick scripts. But AutoHotkey Toolkit is very dated, and I haven't actually updated it in a long time. So what we're doing, or what Irfan is doing right here, is he's creating a small, very quick, fast editor that has modern features, like what he's showing, like multiple cursors, moving lines up and down, the highlighting, the coloring, right? While still being very basic, because in my case, VS Code is a whole,
the Ferrari
options, right? Yeah, exactly. So this one is just for opening something very quickly, typing or modifying something, and testing it really quickly, which is why we have a run button or a kill script down there. It's just to see it, run it, see if it works, try something else. And again, at the bottom, you can see that it has the different versions, V1, V2. So if you need to test something, you can just go ahead and do it. This is not like, oh, you should be coding in these 8 hours a day. That's not what this is for, right? This is for, I have to test something really quickly. I don't want to load VS Code just to run 2 lines of code, right?
But more importantly, it's because Site has its issues, which a lot of us have ran into with it changing your default editor in the past and stuff. So I'm like, I want an editor that's very basic and simple to use, but has some of the core functionality that we wish we had in Toolkit, like like line numbers alone. Like, to me, I always yell at Irfan of like, use something that has line numbers, so when we're talking, I can say, look at line 3,
line number 4, right? Exactly. Right. So right now, for example, he's showing some highlighting and so on. In AutoHotkey Toolkit, I have some highlighting, but I haven't updated it in a long time. I don't have autocomplete like this. That's another thing. So that is, again, another very core feature. If you have something that you're coding and you don't have autocomplete, that is at this point, like, the one thing, Irfan, I don't know if this has it, and I don't think you will be able to have it, is like, can you autocomplete variables that you created? That's something that is very different.
I can do that, but it is not simple. So
Right,
let me,
okay, because no, you have to keep track of them yourself.
yes.
Has that.
Actually, we are tracking
Site
every,
has it.
every
Site has
suggestion.
to keep track of that.
Well, site
Yeah,
you can enable it in site. There's an extension for it. I'm just saying.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, but that extension has to do the work. Like, for example, Scintilla, or sorry. Oh, no. So I'm misunderstanding, because the Scintilla control has built-in things for autocomplete, and you're saying that it also has built-in functionality to keep track of variables?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm saying
Yeah.
site for AutoHotkey.
All
There's
right,
an
okay, yes,
extension,
yeah.
Which,
yes.
to your point, is probably Lua that's doing the work.
Right. So it's very likely that the person is keeping track of, if you do colon equals, let me grab that name, and now I keep track of it, and I now serve it in your list of stuff. But I don't know if it has something like that.
I modified this Scintilla library a lot, so I can tell you the control F. I cannot do control F, so
you cannot search.
I am doing
that would be very important. We need a control F and a control H, right?
So my next step is adding a control, so searching.
Yeah.
So there is a message that I want to look for. Let me open that in VS Code so I can show you easily.
For what I usually do, like, for example, when I'm opening AutoHotkey Toolkit, I don't do much searching, because usually it's just for very quick.
Short.
Oh, I want to create a hotkey to test this, so I'm not searching in code. But at any point, if we open a file, we need to kind of like search through it, right?
Well, I don't know about you. Actually, I do know about you because I watch you do it a lot. Usually in Studio, we can see the entire thing.
Yeah,
exactly. So you don't need to search. You use your eyeball.
Right. Yeah.
So here we are doing custom highlighting. When we're done with the custom highlighting, we have to figure out. So whenever I type into our editor, so whenever I hit A or anything, I am handling change event, and I am highlighting stuff.
Yep.
So this.
But that's what I mean. So and actually, because of what you're doing, you do not need the custom lexer.dll. You have a few files that I noticed in the folder that you don't need them, because you're creating the lexer yourself, right?
I think lexer is being used here, but we have to handle the autocomplete word list by ourselves.
Let me see if I understand. So you see this custom lexer right here?
Yeah, I know that.
I don't think you're using that at all, because your custom lexer is this AHK file. Is what I'm saying.
Move it or delete it.
Just move it to a different spot and see if that works.
Okay, so let me.
Just rename it. Because if you are, then I don't know why you're not doing everything in the C lexer.
Lexer is not found.
Okay. So you need it for what?
So
that result right there. No, go to that. Well, we're digressing here, but it's okay. We can talk about that later. But the point is, if you're using the custom lexer.dll, a lot of what you're doing right now in AutoHotkey, you can just put it in that lexer directly. And it is better because then you have full control of certain things that you don't have in AutoHotkey itself.
So you can see that I have to give my custom lexer these characters that I set for highlighting.
Yeah, then all of this could be done directly in the C code.
But the Scintilla library is handling the highlighting by itself.
Yep. Don't worry, I will try to explain that later. I will explain exactly what I mean. So you're doing duplicate work. You're doing work on the lexer, on the DLL, and you're also doing work in the AHK side of things. And I'm saying, if you're already using the DLL, you can move all of this inside of the DLL because you're doing it there too. Don't worry. So I'll explain a little bit more about that later. Don't worry.
And then the other one, which will actually, I don't know if Isaias is ready to present on it, but I mentioned to Irfan the other day in AHK Studio, even though Maestria created it, and everything is an amazing tool, I got far more visits to my website because I made videos on how to use it, right? And that was so I'm very familiar with people asking questions about Studio because they'd often come to me for asking questions. And the biggest gripe I always heard was there's no toolbar. How do I know how to do anything? There's no toolbar. And so I mentioned it to the guys, and Isaias was saying, was it custom controls?
I can explain a little bit
But hold on,
something about it, but I cannot show it.
Okay, well, before you do, so now that you guys know where this is going and stuff, I'm gonna launch a little poll to see.
Yeah.
It's a multi-select thing, so just tell me out of that list stuff, or if you want to write something else, just put it in the chat after. But
Right. What would you think would be a great name, right?
keep in mind this is for non-program. Like, imagine when you were new to AutoHotkey, right, and didn't even know what an editor necessarily was. Like, what would you name it? What would you call it?
Right. So I'm looking at what you're doing, Irfan. What are you opening there?
I'm opening help file,
With what?
F1.
Whenever you press F1, it just opens the help file, right? But is it searching the current keyword or not?
Actually, when this file is open, then it will not rerun it. It will just activate it.
No, but close it. Let me see. Does it search for the selected keyword? Like message box. Does it open the help file with message box? Okay.
This is pending. So I don't know how to search a message box with.
Okay.
So I don't know how to run with the search. Do we have?
Well, that might be. I do have something that I can show on that. Like I can show you the implementation that I had for Hotkey Toolkit. The problem with it is it's not 100% stable. I never liked it. In the end, I think the best way would be on the online help file, but what if you're not online? Like that's a problem. But I will show you what my implementation was. Because the online help is a URL, you can just open the URL, or you can also, for the search query, you can select search, put the search in it, and then go to that website as a URL, right?
Go directly to that spot.
Yeah, you can go to the file, but I'm talking about the search, not the index.
Right.
Okay.
That, right. So here, the difference between the index and the search is there's a difference. If you search for something on the index, if that word or that thing that you're searching for is not saved as part of the index, you're not going to find it. The search is not searching for something that is predefined, is not already saved. It searches everywhere, right? So the index is just searching for a small part of what you're looking for. So, but in any case, yeah, go ahead.
So right now there is no way to, when I select and hit F2, so it would go ahead in this search. This is a local.
There is a way. Yes, there is.
There is a way. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can show you. So while they're at the poll, let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me see if there's anything on the chat.
Sharing.
All right, cool. So, and we can convert that to V2 fairly easily because I made it as a library basically. So in V1 Toolkit, in the libraries, I have the HTML help. That's the library that I was using for that. All right. So if you can, and this is just COM objects, so probably you can have it almost exactly like that, but for let me enable this thing. Enable for this workspace. Why can't? Oh well, because I didn't open the workspace, did I? Right. Huh? That's so strange. Okay. Did I really? Oh, okay. The lib folder was selected. That's why. Alrighty then. So HTML help. So this creates, well, basically now in V2, that would be a buffer. So you create a buffer called AHK link.
Okay.
You set the size of that buffer. You put some stuff in it. I put some data specifically. That's actually a string. So you have to be very careful with that, how you put those strings in that buffer, right? So there are two things that I'm putting there. One of them is the link itself with its size. So the first thing that I put there is the size of that link, which of course is this one here, and the pointer to the W data string. And then we're gonna check how I'm doing it. So I have two ways that I do that. If it is the forum helper, I was actually parsing the clipboard because I was sending a Control-C to copy whatever was selected. So because I needed to know which one you had. So probably if you select message box, I wanted to have that. I keep track of that match in here. And let me see where the thing is. So
Just want everyone to notice he's on line 4,871, by the way.
Right. I'm about here. But this is what I was telling Irfan. The reason why I liked doing the search is because I can just go to this website and you can pass some post requests to it. And then you just make an HTTP request to that website. It's pretty simple if it is the website. Okay. So you just call the search PHP, you pass your parameters in the post request, actually. And then it will go back with what you had. Now, if it didn't work, right? If it didn't work, I did some other things. I actually went to, so let's say that I couldn't find it, right? So I was doing this thing. Then I went to, where is it? All of this is if it is forum helper. If it is not, I would run AHK HH. Now let me see, hold on, because I have that. Let me see how
So
did
you would do Alt N and the paste.
Right. So look,
That is
I was calling the help file. Look, I was
Yeah.
grabbing the help file, the actual HCHM. I would run that, right? So it would run it, wait for that window, activate it, and then I would send Alt N because
And the
Alt
clipboard.
N opens the search, if I remember right. So let me see.
Yes.
Right? It
Alt-
does?
Yeah.
Alt N does
Alt
that.
S.
Yep. So basically that's the sort of trick. I was manually doing it because it is not so let me see, hold on.
So online search would have some
Yeah, there it
issues
is.
with-
Look, it just did it. So Alt N is the index and Alt S is the search.
the
So if
search.
you're here and you do Alt S, well, no, that is Zoom. I have it for sharing my screen on Zoom. So Zoom is hijacking that. That's the reason why I don't like doing that. Okay. So one of the reasons why I didn't like this approach is because
I think we can do
hotkey
control
could be
send.
hijacked. Sorry.
I think we can do control send. So
Yeah, we could, right?
yeah,
We could
then-
control send it to it, right? But basically that is what switches to the search. And when you switch, you are already on the box, so you can just paste and search, right? So
Oh,
that's the
that's cool.
manual way of doing it. If you do it for the website, the URL, you just go to the search URL and you pass the post request with your search in it, and it just searches for you.
And Isaias, you told me to download the binary, so for this tool, but I was having issue because the website is lately asking for bot detection, so verifying for the human. So
Sorry, if I told you to download what?
remember you was telling me, so let me share my screen first and
Sure.
then I will explain it. That would be easy. So remember that we need to add these binaries so people
Oh,
do
okay,
not
the
have
XE,
issues.
okay, so AutoHotkey binaries, all right,
Yeah,
yeah.
if it is not installed for any user. So what I did, I created this download class. And what it is,
Okay, so it's not letting you download it?
no, I am checking for version, so I haven't worked on it anymore. So this is asking me for like,
Yeah, exactly.
verify yourself.
Hold on. Isn't there a Git repository that we can also go to?
Yeah, there is a Git repository. Yes,
Because
we can do that.
I'm with Irfan in the fact that like the forum, you know, the AutoHotkey.com one often has
Cloudflare, yes.
issues going on.
Yeah, Cloudflare, because it's the funny thing. AutoHotkey is something. Let me see. Hold on. Now, so usually I'll tell you something, Irfan. Whenever you're doing this kind of tests, don't go with the HTML first. Go with the status. Go ahead and look at the status number. So instead of the so that status right there, just return that. Return the status or message box it, right?
Well, or just put the status at the very beginning of it, so you have it.
Exactly, something.
Yeah,
because because this should give you a 403, for example. It already tells you something is wrong and whatever, right? So, one of the first things that I would do is you're not setting your user agent, and many times Cloudflare, just because you don't have a user agent, it will. Many websites,
particular user agent too, right? We ran into where I forget what site was that. What it was a common site.
It was a very common site. I don't remember which one was it.
Yeah,
it was ours actually. It was the Automator. So we had a script.
Right.
Yeah, it's the funny thing. It's a very cool one. Yeah, it's the Automator one. So the point here is that remove line 20, remove it. If you modify a header like that, you might get an error. You have to change that Mozilla 4.0 to 5.0. That's what was happening on the Automator. So actually, we have to update that example because what was happening is all our tools were working just fine. Then just from the sudden, this thing stopped working. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And then we were looking at I changed Mozilla 5.0 and it just started working again.
Our hosting provider had some tool that was blocking the older API requests, which was
right. Remove the HTTP win HTTP request at the end, compatible. That thing, So the last one, I don't know what that is. And also, you're getting an error. Actually, it's not set request header. Yeah, go ahead and run it. Let me see. Sorry, this is a warning. Here we go. So this set request header is having a problem. First of all, copy it from your browser, man. Let's do that.
Okay, where is my browser?
Good question. Just open one. Yeah, just open a website, hit F5 or whatever. Yeah, just grab one of the fetch requests. You have to filter by fetch on the top. Yeah, there. Just grab one. There should be a keep going. There it is. Yeah, that's what you want. Just copy that. User agents are the weirdest thing. because they're so generic that you cannot possibly tell me that that's kind of like a standard. But then at the same time, like every single browser has it just like that. So strange. Now, why are you having a problem? Oh no, you have to do that after the open. Abort that.
Oh, sorry.
Open first and then do that. Yep, there we go.
Well, I do think that is weird though to me, because I would
4.3.
Still blocked. So yeah, Cloudflare is saying this is a weird request. Let me get this.
Actually, whenever I go to the AutoHotkey, it asks me. But
Well,
this
is
time
your-
it did.
It does.
is your
Are you
version-
running through a VPN?
No, but these days it is doing. Let me try
Really?
this user agent.
Yeah,
No.
This is same, I think.
Yeah, of course it is. So let me do this. Let me try it. So send me the URL. So that's the version. Let me show you. And let's do that. Let me see if I get the same error. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So
He
for
just
people,
recently added that in. And it makes sure you're a human.
well, yeah, Tank. The AutoHotkey website people try to hack it all the time, and so Tank.
That's what I was gonna say. And then
Like, yeah.
there it is. There's your verification there. So
But this time it
because of
worked.
that Cloudflare verification, trying to get the information automatically might be a bit of an annoyance. Let me see. Hold on. So
Again, I think all this is on Git, right? Like,
yeah, it is. Right. So this is the file that I want to access. Whoops, that failed.
Can I share my code with you?
No, I can do this. Open a GET request on that one.
http.status.
Yep. I get the 432. So that's it. So when I do now, the way how to circumvent this, guys, I spent so much time dealing with the thing. What you have to do is actually get AutoHotkey.com first. This one here. I think you can get this one. Oh, no, you can't. Wow, that's crazy. So you cannot even open that.
Yeah. You have to be a human.
But that's strange. Well, I don't know how it is, but for example, I was on a bigger website, and what you do is you go to the main page, and they're gonna set some cookies. You grab those cookies, and those are the ones that you're gonna use for the next call.
but you also turn off the redirect, right, Isaias? You need to turn
Right.
off.
I do have to turn off the redirect. Try to grab as many cookies as I can from the actual stuff. Then yeah.
This is why we haven't made a course on API calls, because it's quite involving.
So weird.
There's a lot of knowledge you have to know, besides the writing of the code, and every website's different.
This one is very interesting. Like how are they determining that my browser is different than the HTTP request I'm making, even if I set the same? So very likely there are some headers being sent that tells the AutoHotkey website this is from a browser, right?
And this is where, and I don't think we need to go into it, right? But using Fiddler to do it in your browser first and look at the traffic and see it work, and then replicating it in AutoHotkey, because you can see it in Fiddler also, and you can see the differences, right? And you're like, oh, I missed.
That's why,
thing, right? Yeah,
right. But the main question is, how is the website already knows before? So I'm trying to get to the main page. How do they already know that I'm not doing it through a browser? There must be some headers being sent or some information that the website is grabbing from your browser, that if it cannot grab it, it says, nah, this is weird.
Yep.
Okay, I think I need to use the cookies. But if this expires, then we don't know.
Well, but I mean, there's your very first time you get it, you got to get the cookies in the first place, right? And so,
yeah,
it's an interesting thing. All right, so members get unlimited access to 466 plus hours of video lessons packed with AHK insights to binge learn whenever inspiration hits. Get insider savings, 25% off courses, scripts, and done-for-you AHK jobs, making premium tools affordable and accessible.